Well, here we are again. I'll go over a few things, kind of continue on what I talked with you about last time, which was developing a groove. And sometimes it seems real difficult to develop a groove because of the beat, particularly if it's a strange beat. The beat I was just playing was a 6/8 beat. When you're developing a groove of any kind, one of the key things that you have to do is to listen to what the drummer's doing, particularly with his bass drum. And I'm going to play just a little bit of the rhythm that I was playing with, just to give you an example of what I was talking about here. Just that little groove that I developed right there was a kind of a combination of a couple of things that I had heard that the drummer was doing. And again, playing drums, it helps a little bit on being able to develop the patterns for the bass and some of the percussive things that I do on bass. But I'm going to play a little bit of this, just a little few seconds of this, and you can hear what the kick drum is doing. It's doing a dotted eighth note beat on the kick drum. So listen for that, and that's where I'm getting some of that, matching that, and then actually hitting on the first note of the dotted eighth on the part of the actual groove. So I'm going to play a little bit of this for you, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. And when I heard that little beat there that the drummer was doing, which is a pretty straightforward type beat, it's not a lot of embellishment, and again, it's just a little rhythm machine. But what I came up with an idea of doing was, again, kind of playing off of that that dotted eighth note beat on the kick drum, that bum, 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 bum. So again, that little groove that I developed there for that beat, it matches a lot with the kick drum. The more you can pop what the kick drum's doing with your, particularly the lower strings on the bass, you're going to get a much better drive, as we talked about before, a little bit tighter sound. Anytime you match perfectly with that kick drum, it is going to be tight. And that makes the sound much better. It also makes, again, as we talked about, like the lead guitarist and the keyboard players and any solo type artist that's going to have a solo type instrument, have the ability to play off of that groove. And that's just a real simple little groove. You take a little bit of keyboards, throw a little bit of guitar in there, and it's going to be a rocking little tune. But don't be afraid of strange beats. If it's not just your straight 3/4 beat that you're used to, pay close attention to what the drummer's doing, particularly the kick drum and the snare, because again, his job as a drummer is also to keep that root groove going and keep that drive going and kind of that beacon home for these solo artists whenever they go out and do these crazy wild solos. They've got to have a place to come back home to, and it's your job and the drummer's job to provide kind of that beacon of this is where home is. This is, this is the groove, this is the beat. You can do whatever you want to do, but this is where you have to come home to. And as you do that, you're going to find that, number one, a lot more people like working with you, a lot more people like playing with you, because you lay down that solid groove and that solid foundation. A simple groove to me is just as enjoyable to listen to if it's tight as an extremely elaborate groove that is very complicated and very technical. Both are enjoyable to listen to as a musician. As a person sitting in the audience, sometimes they're not going to know how technically difficult that groove was, but the people that play music will. And sometimes the simplest groove is the best groove. You don't want to overplay, you don't want to underplay. So again, just develop a groove that keeps that root note going, that so you can hear that boom, 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 bum bum. And if you listen to what the drums were doing, it's very similar and almost identical to what the drums are doing. Sometimes it's playing on the front of the note. If it's a dotted eighth, sometimes it's playing with both notes. So play a little bit more for you as we go out, and have, like I said, enjoyed some of the emails and some of the comments. We'll make a couple of comments real quick too. Marla DK has been a real great help for me. He's on my website as one of my subscriptions. If you get a chance to go there, look at some of the things that he's posted. He's posted 200 or 300 videos. The guy's an amazing bassist, has a great setup, and helped me a lot with getting mine set up. He's in Denmark. Great guy. Email him sometime. Incredibly technical player, incredibly good groove player too. So enjoy, and we'll play a little bit more on the way out, and keep practicing, and we'll talk to you later.